Alright, so now I want to add an insert in the mold base, and I do have parametric inserts that I could add in here very quickly, but I want to show you how I made it. So I'm going to go through the steps of creating a parametric insert, and then we'll add it into the mold base and perform the cuts. And in fact, I'm probably going to make it a little simpler than how my real insert is, just for sake of time. Okay, so right now I would choose new, part file in inches, and we'll do datum, plane, main planes, attach them to the coordinate system. Alright, then we're going to go into the sketcher. Remember, when you go into the sketcher, you got to pick where you're drawing. I want to draw on the XY plane. Then I'm going to do a rectangle. I'm going to change it from free to dimension, and let's go 6 by 8, and I'm snapping to the center here so that it's constrained to the center. And then I'm going to right click and choose exit, solid, new, extrude. I'm just guessing on a height, doesn't really matter. We'll do 4 inches. Okay, and then let's put some rounds on it. Okay, and then let's roll it over to the back side, and we'll lay out a screw pattern. Again, sketcher, pick the face we're drawing on. I'm going to plop down 4 points. I'm careful to let these constraints light up so that they're tied to each other. Alright, now again, there's a lot of different ways that we can make this parametric. I'm going to do it kind of a quick and easy way, okay? I'm going to choose add reference right here. I'm going to pick these edges. And we'll dimension from this point to this edge. You see how they're turning pink when they're fully constrained? Okay, so because they're locked in relationship to each other, that's all the dimensions I need to have that fully defined. Down here it says my sketch is fully defined. I'm going to choose exit. Alright, yeah, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tie this distance to the same size as the rounds, so that if this insert was really big and had really big rounds, this distance would get further away from the wall. So this is how we build relationships. I double click on the block, and I choose extrude, and these are the dimensions of the block. When you pick on it, you get this little option here called mark as a leading dimension. Now I'm going to do that for all 3 of these. I'll explain what that means in a minute. Okay, and then here I'm double clicking on the point. My point filter is turned off. You got to pay attention to the filter. Okay, here's the dimensions of these points, and I'm going to double click on this round. Here's the value of my round. I'll make the round a leading dimension. Okay, and then this formula, or this value right here, we're going to make a formula, and I'm just clicking over here. So this value is this value right now. I could make it times 2 divided by 2. I can put whatever kind of mathematical expression that I want here, but I think just making it the same will be good. Alright, and then these ones, we can either tie it to this one again or tie them all back to this one. It wouldn't really matter. I think I'll tie them all back to this one. Whoops. Okay, so now you'll see that these all have an F next to them, meaning that they're a formula-driven parameter. And this has an L next to it because it's a leading dimension. Okay, so now let me show you what leading dimension means. When I come up here and I choose Edit, Leading Dimensions, this is what we're going to have access to when we're placing the insert. So we'll be able to size it and change the radius value for each job. And we can rename these as well. So this one we'll call corner rad. This one will be insert width. This one will be insert length. And this one will be insert height. Okay, so all we need now is a cutting body. Now normally I would create a new sketch, do a new extrude, and relate the cutting body's dimensions. I would use a formula and tie it to these ones. But for sake of time, I'm going to take the lazy way out, and I'm just going to do a copy of this one. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to choose Edit, Copy, Linear, picking this block. I'm going to move it up 5 inches. Okay, so now I've got a copy of it, right? Then I'm going to mark it as a cutting body. Tools, attach name to entity. I know, not very easy to remember, so burn this into your brain. Attach name to entity. And you have to set this to your filter to a body, because we can have a cutting object as a face, but we need the cutting object to be a body. So all I did was pick here, put an X there for cutting objects. Don't worry about the name, it's not important. I'll try to explain this as best I can. Basically, when I'm placing this insert in a job, it can either cut what this part interferes with in the mold, or it can cut what the part and cutting body interferes with in the mold. Most of the time, by part is the better option, but that's what it means. Okay, so this is now a cutting object, and now I'll just delete this copy. Oh, wait a minute, no, I can't do that, or else I'll delete it altogether. I guess we'll move it back. Edit, or wait a second, I know what we did. I put a 0 value there. Yeah, so it's copied, but not in any distance. Now there's 2 of them sitting there. One's a cut body, and one's the real insert. And you're not going to see the cut insert anyways, well, assuming that we hide it. Again, this is kind of the quick and lazy approach, because right now I have a real hard time telling the difference between the real insert and the cut body. Let's do this again. I think we'll change the color to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so that's our cut body. And while we're here, why don't we change the color of this one too? Okay. In fact, we could, yeah, let's just hide this guy. So I set my filter to body, pick him, hide it. We'll edit this one and put that back to 0. Okay, and then we're gonna hit save, and let's call this mold insert. I don't believe I have any of those in here. Okay, and we'll close it. Okay, now we're ready to bring that insert in and parametrically size it. So if the insert is going to go on the B side, I need to have that one activated. Okay, here's the movable side subassembly. That's where the insert needs to go. Now I'm going to hit the plus sign next to it, and we'll hide the B plate temporarily. Just makes it easier for placing the insert. So I'm going to choose assembly, add duplicate. The reason I'm choosing add duplicate is because I want that insert, I want a copy of that insert so that we can use it in many jobs in the future. Okay, here's the insert we made. We're going to place it by face. This is the face it sits on. And then I'm going to snap to the center, to this origin. See that little green circle lighting up? Okay, clearly it's not the right size, but that's what this is for. Edit leading dimensions. And let's go 12 by 8. Let's see how that looks. Let's go to the top view. Yeah, it looks okay actually. Alright, and then let's also change the size of our corner radius from 1/2 inch to 3/4. And we should see these dots move in where our screws will attach. Okay, good. And we want to place this with cut. So when we drop this in, that cutting body is going to cut our B plate. Okay, here's the B plate. Let's hide the insert. The cut took place. And let's see, let's hide the B plate again. And now we're ready to cut the insert with the parting surfaces.